Well, yeah. Well, to know me is to love me, 'cause at times I can be misunderstood. Yeah. There'll be good days and bad days, like the preacher said it would. All I ask is you will try loving me. All I ask is you will try loving me. 'Cause loving me ain't easy. I know it ain't.
What's going on, and welcome to Black Kings Free Game. It's your boy, the People's Champ, in the building, and I appreciate you guys joining us today. Right now, I have a special guest.
Yes, sir.
Once again, our special guest is in the building, and he reigns from Walthallville, Georgia, by way of Fire Chief Maxwell. Yeah, guys. I'm gonna work on that applause button so I can get it louder. But hey, I don't mind clapping for people that want to be here and talk to the community. So welcome in, Fire Chief Maxwell.
Appreciate y'all for having me, Chief.
And we always got a salute to Councilwoman Bridget Kelly in the building. And we have King Boston Mayor Pro Temp of Walthallville, Georgia.
What's going on, people?
Yes. And we're going to start like this. Bridget, how has your week been?
My week has been fulfilling. Working with kids every day. I never know what I'm gonna get.
I know that's right.
So I have to stay on my toes. They keep me on my toes.
Awesome.
What about you, King Boston?
My week has been great. I've had the pleasure of reading to some of the youth in our community. A couple days ago, I was at Lyman Hall, and then today I was at Waldo Pafford. And just the energy that you get from second and third graders, I mean, they love to see you come and read to them. And, everybody gave me a hug. Like, I needed that. So this week was definitely a good week, and primarily spending time with the young people in our community. Man, King Boston sound real soft today. He like I ain't never seen him all compassionate. Mitch
like
love the kids.
Money making bitch,
and it's
baby.
Warming up too.
Yeah, you're right.
It's warming up. Look, I got the arms out.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like we all got the arms. Look, we ready.
We feeling it.
And then next week it's gonna be cold.
Yeah,
and next week, yeah.
We in
you got to
Georgia,
stay
of
ready.
course. Now, Fire Chief Maxwell, how has your week been, sir?
Peachy.
Hey, amen.
Peachy. My week it develops as the week goes on.
Mm-hmm.
I can make plans all day long, and the day will tell me what it wants to be.
Absolutely.
No, that's right.
So we were at Waldo Pafford this morning as well. Okay. We were there about 9 o'clock, and I actually was able to read a book by Malcolm Mitchell.
Oh, okay.
For the kids.
Right.
Malcolm Mitchell, being a former Valdosta Wildcat, Valdosta State Blazer, Georgia Bulldog, and a Super Bowl champion with the New England Patriots.
Yes.
Read one of his books. We got a little bit of comment. We were down in the Valdosta area at the same time.
Cool.
Okay. All right.
Well, the book I read was from him as well.
Okay, well, shout out Malcolm Mitchell.
Shout out Malcolm Mitchell.
Oh wow. Oh, y'all was Malcolm Mitchell.
Look, I wasn't even up on game with Malcolm Mitchell. I just saw Mitchell.
Yeah, I know.
And I was
That's
like,
what I was about to say.
I'm reading this.
You saw your name and you was like, yeah, I'm going with this one.
The copy that I read, I'm sure was the same. He actually signed those copies.
Yes,
that was
it's definitely
Hey,
autographed.
y'all read the same book?
I think the one I read was called My Favorite Book in the Whole Wide World or something like that. But he has a lot of literature though.
He does, and mine was called Georgia. It was just called Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm seeing the resemblance on why y'all would have picked the same thing now. I'm looking at it. Yeah. The light skinnedness. Boy, I
Watch
tell
out,
you.
watch out.
Y'all be thinking the same. What's going on,
with hair.
Queens? Look, we got Miss Robinson in the building. The biggest BIM watching. Y'all don't forget to share it out. Don't forget to go to YouTube, type in Black Kings Free Game, and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget, we are sponsored by Steezo Collection. Steezo Collection is where you can get all of your Christian wear and gear. And we just had him on the show just the other day, and he was telling you about his apparel. And whenever those pets start coming out, because they're about to, you call 1-844-MAGNUM-1. That's 1-844-MAGNUM-1. And when you're ready to buy a house, call your boy or go to yourhomechamp.com right now. And back to the show. Look, Chief, we're going to get into it like this, right?
All right.
How long have you just been in love with, like, since you were 2 years old, you've always wanted to be a firefighter, huh?
I wish that was the case. That would make for a much better story.
Okay, all right.
However, that is not the case.
Yes, what's the truth?
So back 2015, I think, is when I started in the fire service. I was at a kind of just in a period of my life where I was making some transitions, kind of just putting some applications out and filling them out. Prior to that, I had been working in corrections down in Valdosta, working at the prisons. I had the resume to go do federal corrections, which is what I was trying to do, but I was putting applications out a little bit everywhere. I actually started my career with the Hinesville Fire Department.
Oh, wow.
I put an application out with them. They actually called me the same day the federal prison called me to make a job offer. The federal prison paid exceptionally more.
I bet.
Than the Hinesville Fire Department at the time. But there was no good reason why the Hinesville Fire Department should have been offering me a job. I didn't have the resume, didn't have the experience, didn't have the background. So I kind of saw it as a once in a lifetime opportunity. I called Chief Johansson back and I said, hey, when do you need me to be up there? Called the federal prison back. I said, hey, I'm going to pursue another opportunity. I started with Hinesville. I fell in love with the fire service, and the rest is kind of history.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Shouts out to Miss Lisa Thomas, NAACP. We
going on, Miss
see you,
Thomas?
Queen. So that was your beginning. Now, you didn't play with no fire trucks when you were growing up? Like, no.
Nope.
You weren't that kid that wanted to be a fireman or police officer.
I might have sprayed some axe cans over some lighters as a kid.
Yeah.
You know,
We all
but
had-
I never. You would have never heard me say anything about wanting to be a fireman. That just wasn't something that interested me when I was a kid. But I will tell you for sure, when I started doing that job, I 100% fell in love with it.
Hold on. So, okay.
Oh, what's going on, Mr. Pastor Hayes?
What's going on,
Pastor
Pastor?
Hayes.
He says, what up, Chief?
Shout out to Pastor Hayes. That's our chaplain.
Yeah,
he's our chaplain.
Yeah, chaplain.
He does amazing work for the care and treatment of the firefighters in this area. So
That's
shout out
awesome.
Pastor Hayes.
Yes, sir. Shout out.
Pastor Hayes, go on and shoot it out there into your Facebook page. And don't forget to share the YouTube page. Also, subscribe on there. You get all the content.
Chief, when you did decide to become a firefighter, I'm curious, what was your first fire like?
All right, so figure out how to put this gently. My first fire was a pretty good experience. My first fire was actually in Waltherville.
Okay.
On a mutual aid call.
Okay.
This was back when I used to work at the water tower station which I worked there a lot later in my career with Hinesville, but when I was a low man on the totem pole, the first fire I ever fought was actually in Waltherville on a mutual aid call, and it was outside. We weren't kicking any doors or anything like that. My initial push into a fire was of course in Hinesville. I had the luxury of going in with one of my lieutenants who was a really senior guy at the time. Very, very frightening, very exciting at the same time. I actually got trapped in an attic, attic access. Got pinned in the attic access, fire blowing over the back. There was guys on the outside spraying water, fighting fire. So it was definitely one of those puckering moments. But like I said, man, I fell in love with it, and I've been in love with it ever since.
You have to be a special breed,
boy,
to run to a fire, because I don't know if I told you this.
No.
Not too long ago. You know, Hinesville, they just opened that burn building off of Airport Road.
Yeah.
I think I told you, Bridget. And they were explaining the science of fighting fire. And for one, I never realized what goes into fighting a fire.
Right.
You know, sometimes you have to damage the house, cut holes, and break windows, and all type of stuff. And they gave us an opportunity to don the gear and go into a fire.
Richard Hayes says, "What's going on to you, brother? Shouts out to the council members, Kelly Ann Boston, and Matthew McKnight said, "What's good, Chief WFD in the building."
McKnight. Shout out to McKnight,
Walter Bill heavy
Good
in the
people.
building
That's
right now.
Yeah, don't forget to share it out, you guys, and go to YouTube and share it out.
Very, very good people, McKnight is,
But you were saying, I'm sorry for the interruption.
No, it's all good. So I put on the gear.
Oh no!
And it was all good until I put the mask,
the helmet,
the head on. And I didn't realize all the crawl spaces I done been in my life.
Yeah.
I'm a little claustrophobic.
Just a little
You
bit.
know? And so they turned on the oxygen. And I ain't gonna say what I was doing the night before, but I felt like I was a little dehydrated. And so I'm walking in here, and even though you're protected, I could still feel the heat. I could still feel like, yo, this is real.
Yeah.
And they told me, they was like, look, if you feel like you're gonna pass out or something, just tap your helmet. I was this close. I mean, my hand was like right here, but I was like, nah. He put the hose in my hand.
Yeah.
And luckily it was a little pallet on fire. We ain't have to save no lives or nothing like that, because I would have been the casualty. You know? So, but I told a lot of my fellow elected officials that I think we should all go through that.
Yes.
To see what you all go through.
Yes.
Because when we're looking at budgets and line items, it's easy to look at it from our perspective, not knowing that y'all lives depend on it.
Yep.
100%.
And we literally have to put ourselves in your shoes before we make these decisions that can affect life or death.
And it's good that Hinesville is able to do that and afford that opportunity. We work really, really closely with the Hinesville Fire Department. They are exceptional mutual aid partners for us. But it's good that they are able to allow people to come in and experience that, because when you hear everything about the fire department from the fire chief, it comes with automatic bias.
Yeah.
I am going to always bang my hand on the table for the fire department. A lot of times you have to understand that the fire chief is not always the best messenger.
Yeah.
Because of the bias.
Right.
And so sometimes you're going to understand things better when you hear them from other people. And that's just the nature of information. That's just the nature of data transfer.
Right.
Sometimes the messenger can kill the message. And it's not because we're trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes, or we're trying to sway things to our advantage, but there's always an implied bias when it comes from the fire chief or from the firefighters. But when you get that hands-on experience, that what we call it, hands-on training, to go in there and actually feel, then you kind of get a little bit understanding.
You mentioned fire chief, and you started in 2015, and you mentioned being on the lower part of the totem pole. How long did it take you to get that title, fire chief?
So
2015, it's not that long.
So,
right?
so May of this year will be 11 years in the service. I had a kind of unique experience career-wise. Shortly after I started working for Hinesville, within that first year I started working for Hinesville, Long County was going through a transition of trying to get paid firefighters in Long County. So I went over there, picked up some part-time work. Man, we were putting fires out for $8.50 an hour. We went over there under
$850 an hour?
No, $8. I wish. Right. $8.50 an hour. We had one station. We were there from 9 to 6, and everything after 6 was all volunteer. Chief Chris Moss, who's still the fire chief over there in Long County, I consider to be one of my greatest mentors. I've learned so much from. I've had exceptional mentors throughout my fire service career, with Chris Moss, Andy Fowler, Andre Hart. When I worked in Hinesville under Lamar Cook, Chris Johansson, and even under Chief Kitchens and Chief Becker, that's over there now. I was able to have some experience and some exposure that a lot of people don't get early in their career. I kind of sort of got thrown to the wolves as far as leadership. I'm very, very, very pro training, very, very pro formal education when it comes to training, not necessarily I'm finishing my degree right now, and this has been a long time coming because I'm not gonna get on my soapbox about public education, but very, very pro. Go to the training center, get your classes, learn as much as you can. Don't let your resume or your lack of training be what holds you back. If you're not going to get something, let it be because you just weren't. You didn't have the aptitude.
Available.
You didn't have the aptitude. It's not in the deck. It's not in your cards. So for me and the guys that now look at me as mentors, I kind of was a little bit fast tracked. I'm not going to remove any of what was done for me, but very, very unique. I got a lot of exposure and a lot of experience that a lot of people don't get.
You know what we call it though, for real. It's called blessings and favor.
1,000%.
Absolutely.
It's blessings and favor.
1,000%.
You got the favor, and that's what happened.
Because if you can go back and look at where you've come from and how you've gotten where you are now, if you weren't super calculated in the path to get here, then you were blessed.
Yes.
That's just all it is too.
Yes.
I can sit here and take credit for a lot of things that I didn't have control over.
Right.
But favor ain't fair.
Yeah,
So
favor is not
facts.
fair.
That's real.
Boy, that's hard for people to understand sometimes. But it's called hating. Y'all seen Billy? You seen him?
Yeah.
That's
I don't like that.
Rico.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I'm about to drop a dime on it. And,
drop a
listen,
dime on
and I've dealt with that. Y'all have experience
Yes.
having me as y'all's fire chief.
Yes.
It comes at a cost.
Yes.
It comes at a cost.
Yes.
You know, because one thing, matter of fact, you go.
No,
Captain.
I was just gonna ask, and I'm not for sure if Walterville has a fire marshal, but what's the difference between a fire chief and a fire marshal?
So the fire marshal is the person that is, I'm not going to say solely responsible, but he is the head of code enforcement, fire code enforcement, and enforcing the rules, regulations, and laws that that go along with fire protection. So the fire marshal, and there's a lot of confusion between the fire marshal, but the fire marshal at every department still reports to the fire chief. But they are the person that you're going to see coming into your businesses and telling you what you can and can't do, enforcing fire code, and that job obviously comes with a lot of authority. But everything still falls under the fire chief. So a lot of people, they have different titles for it: fire marshal, chief of prevention, chief of investigations. But it's all the same thing. And those guys that do it, that are good at it, they nerd out on it, and that is why that is something that the fire chief can't necessarily be responsible for, because it's a whole other ball of wax that has to be attacked.
Does Walterville have a fire marshal?
By proxy, I am the fire marshal.
So he wears more than one hat in the
Yes.
city of Waltham.
I'm kind of like the Andy Griffith. Whoever you need to see, I just roll over the. who you looking for? I just roll over the nameplate.
I remember another thing, outside of going into a burning building that helped shape my appreciation
Yeah, I wanted
for
to
what
touch
you
on
all do, was when I had to unfortunately when the firefighter passed away in Hinesville, and we went to his memorial service, and of course that was heartbreaking, but I had a chance to witness the camaraderie that not only the fire department has amongst each others through the different departments, but also first responders as a whole. And man, just to see the tribute that y'all made literally put chills through me, but I want to know, with that brotherhood, you being a black man in leadership, how has that shaped your experience?
Again, being in the position that I am now with the short amount of time that I got, it does come at a cost. But what I always tell people is, wherever I go, I come with people. Councilwoman Kelly was there when I got to Walthamville, and Walthamville kind of sort of had a fire department, not really. We came over there, we brought standards. We brought, we kind of raised the level of service, and a lot of people didn't want to be a part of that. We had a mass exodus of employees. I think they staged a walkout.
I never knew that.
Yeah,
They did.
yeah. So they staged what they thought was a walkout.
Yeah,
and,
because that's a hiring. That's a job fair.
What year was this?
this is 2023.
Oh, so what? It was right before we came on.
Lisa Thomas says exactly, Mayor Pro Tem. And Claire Robinson says experience creates new respect for the game.
Right.
Reality checks. And I think she was commenting to what you said when you became the firefighter. And Lisa Thomas also says, how many firefighters does it take? Does the great city of Walthamville have? That's a question you can answer after you.
To answer that, in short, we got about 23 firefighters right now.
23.
23 firefighters.
Okay.
Including myself.
But most of them are part-time, correct?
They're all part-time. They're all part-time. So we've got we're working on some stuff.
Okay.
We're working on some stuff, but everything's slow mo. Anything in government is slow motion.
Absolutely.
Even on the local level, it's slow motion. So we're working on some stuff to get some guys that are dedicated to the city of Walthamville, because we've got such a high level of dedication from our part-timers. It's ungodly how hard those guys work for the city of Walthamville, even knowing that they have to go back to Hinesville or Long County or Brunswick or Savannah. We've got a melting pot of firemen over there at the fire department.
The city of Walthamville, the budget, we kind of went back and forth with the budget. Were you satisfied with what the fire department has in their budget? Are you satisfied?
Never satisfied.
I don't think nobody's ever satisfied with the budgets.
Never satisfied. Never satisfied.
But you can work with what you got.
But let me ask you. Answer that. I'm
absolutely.
Okay.
How expensive is it to run a fire department though?
Yeah. What's up, Jocelyn?
Here's the thing about the fire department. The fire department is kind of like owning a pool.
What up, Monica?
It's just a money pit. It's a money pit because there's a lack of understanding of the benefit of having a fire department. I can sit here and talk about ISO ratings and public protection classification ratings all day. We actually just did a training on this earlier today. But to the layperson, they don't care about that.
Right. Until the insurance go up.
Exactly.
So the house is fire.
Right.
That part.
Statistically, most people will go their whole life and never call 911.
True.
But when they do call 911, they expect to see Chicago fire show up to the house.
Yes.
That's what they see on TV.
Yep.
That's what they expect. Everybody has this image of what they think 911 service should look like, and I don't think that they don't deserve that. We believe that that's what they deserve. Now we're going to provide the highest level of service for the amount of money that we can invest into our fire department. The Walthamville Fire Department is a force multiplier. We do a lot with very little, and not very little from like a funding standpoint or equipment standpoint. Because man, we are light years now from where we were when I got here in 2023. The city of Walthamville has accomplished so much in fire protection service in just 2 years. It's ungodly how much we've accomplished in the last 2 years. But that's because we have the support. We have some like-minded elected officials that, not all of them, but we have some like-minded officials that want to see Walthamville grow organically. And not just a bunch of implants of what can this city do, what can they do for us next door, and what can we get outside of the city. So again, this is the Fire Chiefs Week. I'm going to be. That's Mayor Pro Tem Nelson calling me right now.
You can answer.
No.
Put on the air.
And Patrick, Councilman Underwood says hello. City of Walthamville in the house.
Councilman Underwood.
Oh yeah, we got a quorum.
Right.
Because if we do, I got some stuff I need.
But Mitch, King Boston, you had asked a question earlier, and it was interrupted. I interrupted you. But do you recall the question you were asking?
I asked several questions. Which
Okay,
one?
the very last one you asked.
About how being a black man in leadership has affected his experience.
Yes. That was the question. And I don't think you had a chance to answer that.
I thought he answered it pretty thoroughly.
Well, did I miss that? My fault.
I think he was reading some of what the comments.
I just said it.
But you can run it back.
It comes with it's a double-edged sword.
Yes.
There are a lot of people that just they don't care what color you are. They just don't want to see you do better than them.
Fact.
They don't care what color you are. They just hatred is a disease.
Yes.
It is a contagious disease. So we deal with it. The city of Walthamville as a whole deals with it because of the demographic of Walthamville.
Yes.
That part.
When you moving to Walthamville?
I actually grew up in Walthamville.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I grew up right there on Gregory Court.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that? Gregory Court, GC.
My grandfather actually still lives over there.
Wow.
I don't know about moving to Walthamville. I'm not far. I'm right on the county line.
Yeah.
We know.
But if you do decide, you can call the People's Champ at your home. Your
Now that I do know.
Might just annex his neighborhood. We on air. I'm sorry.
That I do know.
Yes.
But Walthamville's growing.
Yes,
And it
Walthamville is growing.
It is.
We're moving forward.
It's looking better and better every day.
But speaking of homeowners and people that might not understand ISO ratings but can appreciate it because it affects them, can you explain like ISO ratings and how it affects homeowners?
I give you the cliff notes of it because, like I said, I can get down into the weeds real easy, but y'all don't want to do that. And I hate trying to bore y'all with stuff like that at council meetings because it's boring to me. But it's the data that I'm responsible for knowing. In short, the public protection classification, it's a scoring metric that grades your water system, your fire department, your 911 center, and your community risk reduction, with community risk reduction being the smallest of the points. Basically what it is, it's a grading scale. They grade what your water system is capable of, what your fire department is capable of, and then they give it a rating. And then that rating is used to determine your insurance premiums. So when you don't have a fire department, everybody was here to witness what the city of Midway went through when they were trying to get their fire department. They went to a ISO 10, I believe, which is no fire department. Your insurance company is going to get a hold of that. You don't have a fire department. You are an extreme risk for loss, obviously, and then they use that, your premium skyrocket. City of Midway has done an exceptional job getting their department back up and running. They got some good guys over there that's doing some great things. The fact of the matter is you want to keep that rating as low as possible. In order to do that, you have to invest in fire protection service. So when you talk about cost benefit analysis, well, we have a $770,000 budget. Well, what are we getting for that? Well, you're getting first responders in your city that are dedicated to serve you. And then we are light years away from where we were when I got to Walthamville, when we brought our team in. We're due for ISO next year. So we got to be careful about what we do in this year and the next year. So we're expecting our ISO rating to go down.
What is it currently now?
It is a 5.5X.
5.5X.
Let me give you some background on this because I got crucified for this. The X is the equivalent of a 9. Verisk changed their rating schedule, so we're a 5, but we have a 5X area. The 5X essentially is a 9. With the higher the rating, the worse the protection level. The ISO 1 obviously being the best. We have an X on our area, and if y'all can recall back, Chief Maxwell got up and said, hey, we have an intergovernmental agreement with Liberty County. We're covering 19 square miles for the county. They're paying us little to nothing to do it. It's hurting us on our ISO. We need to renegotiate this contract or we need to terminate it.
I remember that.
Yeah. Got some nasty phone calls. I'm sure y'all did too. We went to the negotiating table with Liberty County. I wasn't really involved in it. I was kind of the scapegoat for it, which is fine. We went to the negotiating table. Liberty County did what they usually do, and we terminated that contract. So that contract being terminated alone will remove the X from our ISO rating.
Okay.
Just getting out of that contract alone.
Okay.
We're hoping to go to a high 4 on this next reading. There's a possibility we may see a 3.
Okay.
But we're pretty confident we're going to go to a high 4.
So is there like a checklist or something that we have to do?
It's a whole packet.
It's a whole packet.
They go to the water department. They come to the fire department. They go to the dispatch center. They want to see. There was little to no record keeping of anything when we got to Walthamville. So, which is why it's important to document everything, to keep records, keep call logs. Which is why we pay for all of these other third-party services that help us keep track of all this information. That's why we're putting more fire trucks on the road, more firefighters on duty. We bought all this equipment. We did all this stuff. We've made hundreds of thousands of dollars of investments into the Walthamville Fire Department. We're hoping to see that return. So yes, you pay a fire fee. Yes, we know you don't like to see it every month, but we are using that money so that you see a return on it because the fire fee you're paying on your water bill right now, and we understand it's not ideal. We can all agree to that. But when you get that, when you go to renew your homeowner's insurance or even your renter's insurance, and you want to see that cost reduction, that's where it's going to come from. It's going to come mostly from what the fire department's doing.
Does property taxes have anything to do with ISO ratings?
No.
Okay.
No, but property taxes allow you to invest more money into your fire department, which again will be a return on investment. It's all about return on investment. You take Hinesville, for example, that has a Class 3 ISO, and a lot of the question is always, well, Hinesville being what they are, why don't they pursue being a 1? Right. And there's a lot of things that go into it. Well, why don't they pursue being a 1? There's a lot of things that go into that. ISO 3 for the city of Hinesville is the when you talk about cost benefit analysis, they can invest millions of more dollars to pursue a rating of a 1, but you're not going to see a return on that investment because as far as homeowners insurance and business insurance, they don't recognize anything lower than a 3. So they only recognize a 1 and a 2 if you have industrial occupancy. So Hinesville has a no industry ordinance. You can't build anything industrial in the city limits. So the cost benefit, the most bang for your buck in the city of Hinesville is them being an ISO 3.
Gotcha.
Everybody wants to be a 1. Everybody wants to be a chief of a Class 1 department.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you have to take that dollar and you have to stretch it as far as possible and give the citizens the highest level of service for the least amount of money. And so that's why you have departments like Hinesville that are a 3. And when they come around, I don't foresee why Hinesville won't go to a 2 just because of the changes that they're making going forward. And they may be a 1 going forward. They're doing some pretty good stuff over there in Hinesville. But for us, we're in pursuit of a 4. And the reason why we're in pursuit of a 4 is because the county's a 4.
Okay. Because I tell you, I mean, you said them 2 F words, the fire fee. And I learned a valuable lesson as a freshman elected official when it comes to making promises. And I think that some of my fellow council members can attest to that because, in that first year, we were faced with some challenges, as there's no secret on that. And the fire fee was one that was deemed necessary.
Right.
In order to fund the fire department. Where we could have done better was to not make a commitment for it to only be 1 year.
Right.
And that's when, for me and I'm sure Councilwoman Kelly and, the other council members, we learned a valuable lesson like, okay, you can't make promises until you know the facts.
And understand it.
You have the data. And, and it's kind of that what's the saying? Would you go low and, I
know you're talking about
Michelle Obama.
No.
You under promise and over deliver.
That part. You under promise and over deliver. I think with that we did the opposite.
Yeah.
And I understand the frustration that some citizens had. But my question to that is, okay, you don't want a fire fee. I get it. You said it was going to be 1 year. I get it.
What's up, Sheriff Bowman?
But what's going on, Sheriff?
Shout out Sheriff Bowman.
But what's the alternative? Would you just want your house to burn down? I mean, y'all respond to medical emergencies.
Yes.
And
Car accidents.
For car accidents, everything. Who's going to show up to this? God forbid if it's you. Or would you just like them to come put out a fire and send you a $100,000 invoice?
Yeah.
Because the money has to come from somewhere.
Yes.
And that was a valuable lesson that I learned about government, is that it's the same in business, but in government it's different because you dealing with other people's money, and it has to come from somewhere. So as far as the fire fee, I think that for one we can't promise, and we have to be honest with the people. Because that has been a big point of contention in the city of Walthamville. And look, I encourage anyone who is against it to come to the meetings. And if you have a better idea, please come with it.
Well, I don't think they understand the ramifications because it's not happening to them. And that's with most people.
Yeah.
Is you don't understand until it happens. And when it happens to you, then you're going to complain about everything that you think should have been in place to prevent it from happening, or why didn't I get enough help? What happened? And the whole time, people are still going to fight it.
Yep.
Like, think about it. If you're telling people right now that they have a fire fee to pay, you're giving them the reason, right? They'll still reject what you're saying.
Yeah.
But then when something happens, then they're like, well,
They're still gonna
fight. Like, no, well, this is because if you would have did it differently, they will never take the accountability of what it is.
I'll tell you a back end point of fire. And I don't mean to cut you up, but I'll tell you a back end point of fire fee and what it actually does on scene. One thing that I always challenge people to do is come to the fire department, see what we're doing, see where your money's going, see why we're doing what we're doing with what little that we have. But the thing about the fire fee is because people want to complain.
Yes.
They just naturally want to complain.
Yes.
The fact that we know that we are almost fully funded by fire fees, it holds us accountable on every call that we go to, because how can I show up to your home and not give you exceptional service and we're charging you a fire fee every month? So when you don't have that in place, that's not to say that your service level is going to drop, but it puts a different battery in our back when we respond to incidents, because I know if I slip up, if I say the wrong thing, if I do something that can be perceived as mistreatment, if I don't provide the level of service that you expect to get when you call 911, you're going to be at the next council meeting.
Yeah.
that part.
The next meeting.
And I'm talking about bedside manner on medical calls, how we talk to people, how we interact with people, the service that we provide, how fast we get there, how we explain things to people about what we're doing when they're not calling 911.
Yes.
Like, it puts a different battery in our back, because I know if we slip up, if we provide anything less than exceptional service, I'm gonna be standing in the back of the council chambers listening to somebody complain about the fire department, and I'm gonna
heavily.
I can't handle things the way I want to handle them, so now I have to play the PC card. And I'm like, well, why don't you come over to the fire department? Why don't you come over and talk?
See what we do.
See, that was something that I was going to lead into, right? Is perfect take on accountability, right? You had Mayor Pro Tem Boston. Until he stepped his ass in that fire suit, he didn't know what it was you were going through, right? And you know, I've heard the conversation. You know, the things that you'll need. Say there was a lighter insole for you to be protected with fire and to make you cooler, right? Now, say
Which there is, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. but say Mayor Pro Tem Boston and Councilwoman Kelly never put on that suit. They never knew what it felt like before, right?
Right.
Then their judgment that they're giving on you is not even from their own. They're like, nah, you don't need that. Well, why would you need something like that? It's just it's a couple degrees hotter. But now, when you take the accountability of going to find out, folks, which is exactly what Chief is telling you, come on down to the fire department. If you want to put on one of those outfits to see what it's like, guess what? They'll schedule it for you, put it on. Come see what it is that you're going to be protected with. Come see what the people that are going to protect you have to do in order to protect you.
Right.
And see, that makes a difference, especially with your involvement in the community, Mayor Pro Tem. So I salute you for that.
Yes, sir.
I salute, because every time I see Councilwoman Bridget Kelly, she's up there. And if she's not up there, guess what, guys? She's still doing community work. Like, Boys and Girls Club every day. So these are the people that you like to have in leadership. You know what I mean? And I know other councilmen, Underwood, we know that you do a lot in the community.
Yes.
All the council members have their roles, but I'm speaking specifically of the ones that I see every day. You know what I mean? So get out there, get active.
One thing I will say, our fire department we've never lacked support from our council. Even when I first got there, when we had a completely different council, when we had liaisons, Councilwoman can tell you we had a liaison at the fire department, kind of was a net neutral. We just didn't really, but we've always had support. Now, support does not mean you never get told no.
I know that's right.
You know? Sometimes the answer is no. I can come up there and give a good presentation about why we need to do this, and it could be data driven. I could give you all the facts and I could give you everything, but support does not always mean the answer is yes.
Yeah. Because it takes money.
And there are there is a lot of people in the city of Walthamville. What I hear this a lot. Well, never tell Maxwell no. Yeah, they do.
Not true. That is not true. That is not true.
Oh, yes, they do.
Chief Maxwell and I have had some pretty candid conversations, and all I can say is, again, in the beginning, and I'm speaking for myself, it was coming from a place of admittable ignorance. Like, I didn't know nothing about fighting fires.
Yeah.
So I'm like, Chief, what can we do? Like, I'm relying on your expertise. Like help me help you. You know, and then because you were very eloquent the way you broke down different federal laws. Well, look, we can't respond to a fire with 2 firefighters on the truck. Like, there's certain laws that have to. I mean, you know, there's certain guidelines that we have to follow, and that provided insight from a law-abiding policy standpoint. But if you don't know, you don't know. Yeah. So it's easy to sit at home and watch, you know, a council meeting and to form strong opinions when you don't know. Yes. And you just going off the rumor mill. You know, you have to educate yourself.
Right.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all
questions.
Yeah. Miss Lisa Thomas had a question, and Councilman Underwood answered it. She asked the question, how did council come up with the fire fee, the amount of the fire fee? And it was the recommendation of the CPA, and pretty much the CPA, you know, said y'all have X amount of houses in Walthamville and Allenhurst, because we provide services to Allenhurst. Right. So, you know, the CPA said y'all have X amount of houses in Walthamville, Allenhurst. The fire chief says we need this amount of money to run the fire department, and that's how the CPA came up with that amount.
Yeah, and I can assure you, there is no fluff in our budget. There's no fluff in our budget. If I requested a dollar amount for a line item, we needed every dime of it.
And the Sheriff Bowman agrees with you. Sheriff Bowman says public safety is very expensive.
Very expensive.
Yes.
And it's paramount. You need it.
And public safety doesn't generate income either.
And that's the thing about the fire department, and that's why I say it's like owning a pool. We don't generate revenue. We only cost the city money. Yes. The return on investment is what you see on homeowners insurance premiums. And like Sheriff Bowman said, the fact of the matter is, when people call 911, they want to see the cavalry come to their home.
Yes. Right.
They want the highest trained. They want to see the most proficiently, thoroughly trained law enforcement, firefighters, and EMS professionals show up to their house. The fact of the matter is, there is nothing free in the world that we live in. Right. Those things come at a cost.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned, because as some people may know, the city of Walthamville provides fire services to Allenhurst. So my question to you, Chief, is what are the advantages and disadvantages of partnerships between municipalities?
Oh, you went deep. Oh.
We don't survive without partnerships. More than anything, I don't have any hate in me. Sometimes I wish I did, because it would help me handle things probably the way they need to be handled a lot better. But we don't survive without partnerships. And that's why I said shout out to Sheriff Bowman earlier, because, man, the sheriff's office under Sheriff Bowman's leadership, they support Walthamville.
Right.
We haven't always seen that. But they do support us. We know that for the fire department, our police department does not patrol the city of Allenhurst. So we have the unique opportunity of, when we run calls in Allenhurst, we deal with deputies. And there's no difference in the professionalism that we get from the sheriff's office than what we get from our own police officers. So we don't survive without these partnerships, because when I'm running a fire scene or a major incident, I need the backup of our law enforcement professionals.
Camaraderie.
I need the mutual aid partners that we have with Hinesville, Long County. We have mutual aid with Liberty County, but just due to proximity of their fire stations, we don't really fight a lot of fire with Liberty County. But 1,000%, if we call it Liberty County, we know they're sending them boys. We know that. Which is why we have mutual aid agreements, which is why we have intergovernmental agreements. We are not on an island in Walthamville. Nobody is. Even your class 1 fire departments that are more than capable, that do exceptional work day in and day out, we survive our partnerships. When we went to the table to try to figure out what we were going to do to recover cost for the city of Allenhurst, I made it very clear that we were eager to continue our partnership with Allenhurst. We were eager to continue our partnership with Liberty County. Liberty County has a way of doing business that it didn't align with the way that we wanted to go about continuing that portion of our partnership. We still depend on the county for certain things and vice versa. But there is not a person in Liberty County, there's not a agency in the Tri-County area that I don't consider a partner, that I don't consider a friend, and we need them. We need them because when I make that call, I'm no different as a fire chief making a mutual aid request or calling for law enforcement than you are when you call 911. You expect them boys to show up, and you expect them to do their job at the highest professional. I got one rule as a fire chief for the people that work at the fire department: do your job at the highest professional level. That's it. Now that may cause you to have to do a laundry list of things.
Yeah.
But my only rule as a fire chief is to do your job at the highest professional level.
Yes.
Because they don't care what you make an hour. They don't care how much the fire truck costs. They don't care where you're coming from. They expect when they call 911, you show up and you
do that laundry list of things. Because I had to call the fire department. I had to call the fire department. They got there. They did their job. They did what they were supposed to do. They figured out what was what. But while I had them there, I had a list of stuff that I needed done. Can y'all put my fire detectors up? Can y'all put I have a gas stove. Can y'all put my, the carbon monoxide detectors up? Can
Look, you gonna get your $25 worth. Why you here?
Get your fire fees worth.
Exactly. So, and they did. And I had a couple of fire detectors.
Yeah. We have a mechanic on duty mentality.
Sheriff Bowman says, Chief, let the people know how much it costs to train a firefighter.
Good question, Sheriff.
We've got a unique way of hiring in the fire in Walthamville that helps us circumvent some costs.
Okay.
However, to fully train a firefighter from off the street to a fire service professional, you're looking at anywhere from about $30,000 to about $40,000.
What?
And how long is a firefighter in training? Like how long does
the minimum training is about 12 weeks at the fire academy.
And that's $40,000 for 12 weeks.
Well, no, that's in total. From the time that we hire, from the cost of hiring a person, training them, doing background checks, running them through standards and training, doing their packets, purchasing their turnout gear, purchasing their uniforms.
Don't forget equipment.
Purchasing their equipment, training them. When they're at the fire academy, we're paying for travel, we're paying for meals. We're investing in that person, and then when we bring them back, we have to do a continuation of training and field training. So
you got to pay them a budget,
and this is on top of what we're paying them on salary. So before we can turn them loose on a fire truck, you're looking at about 6 months.
And you're telling me that if there is not a dedicated person, say that person was like, you know what, I don't want to be a fighter. This is why you can't play. That's why he has to select and hire well. Especially if you're coming straight out, no training. So when you get dedicated, when you say you're going to get a job, especially with saving people's lives and helping people survive, you have to take it seriously.
Right.
And that's something that I would like to see people take more seriously is careers, man.
I can play the low hanging fruit of, well, there's lives at stake. I can play that card all day. But it's low hanging fruit for public safety. The fact of the matter is when you call 911, you expect 100%.
Right.
If we show up at 99, we have a problem.
Right.
Because just because you live in Walthamville and we're a Class 5 ISO doesn't mean that you don't deserve the same service as somebody that lives in the city limits of Savannah, who's a Class 1 ISO. You deserve the same level of service, and I have the responsibility, and the men and women of the Walthamville Fire Department have the responsibility of providing you that service because you don't care. You don't care about the fire fee. You don't care about what our budget is. You don't care about what our firefighters make an hour. The only thing you know in that moment in time is you've dialed 911 for yourself or a loved one, and you expect exceptional service. And we, as the Walthamville Fire Department, feel like you deserve that exceptional service. And we will scorch the earth to provide that service.
Damn, Jocelyn says, sheesh. Y'all need to increase them fire fees and take the HOA ones away.
All right, well, look, that's what we came for. We did. That's what we came for.
Look, I hope y'all didn't miss that, Kings and Queens. Look, your fire chief in Walthamville said, look, we going to scorch the earth, providing you great service. Now, we spoiled, y'all. Look here, look, I know he's just in Walthamville, but having a chief that passionate about his job, and knowing that we got a sheriff that's on top of it too, that's passionate about his job. We got so many people that's in levels that's passionate about what they do.
Shout out our police chief, Chris Reed.
Yeah,
Chief
shout
Reed.
out to
Yes,
Chief
sir.
Reed.
Yes, sir.
He's an awesome chief.
Exceptional leader.
Yes.
Listen,
So,
I
all
feel
this-
safer at the time I spend in Walterville.
I know that's right.
Because of our police chief and the team of men and women that he has over there. You want to talk about law enforcement professionals? We have that at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you call them, they pulling up.
They're coming.
Oh,
ASAP.
yeah, all day.
And they're coming, and they're bringing 2 or 3 deputies with them.
Yeah.
So that's why those partnerships are so important. We survive off partnerships.
Because I remember when there was a big fire in Jessup, and I saw the response that you all had, and I'm like, man, because I mean, I know it take me about a half hour to get there, but I'm sure when you got them sirens on, I got there in probably about 10 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
But I think that's another testament to that camaraderie and that partnership that you have with your neighboring, fire departments. So I mean, I get it. So with today's climate, how difficult is it to recruit new talent?
Yes.
Man, I'm gonna get crucified for this.
No, man, tell the truth. You good.
You are, as a department head of any job, this is not specific to public safety. You have to understand the generation of worker that you're hiring.
Right.
Generationally, what we're hiring right now are job hoppers.
Yes.
That's just what they do.
Yes.
And here's the problem with public safety and local government. We exacerbated the issue when we got away from pension funds, when we got away from investments into employees, because we made the employee the most portable that they've ever been. And when you increase the portability of an employee, and then you sprinkle in the fact that this generation of employee job hops, it's like we hired them, but we held the door for them. Now, here's the thing. I have nothing against anybody that wants to better themselves in any way. If you have an opportunity somewhere that we can't provide for you, pursue that opportunity.
Right.
But we kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit with the hyper portability of employees nowadays, with the transitions away from pensions, bona fide pension funds to 401ks. Because the thing about a 401k is when you leave, you take it with you. That pension fund's a little bit different. That pension fund encourages you to stay there. So that's why our GMA investments on pensions, our ACCG investments on pensions, it encourages the employee to stay there. Again, if you have opportunities elsewhere, pursue those opportunities. I will write a letter of recommendation in a heartbeat.
You mentioned pensions and 401ks and all of that. Walthamville, again, talking about insurance. We're looking at different insurance options. How do you feel about?
We're not trying to take away insurance.
We're looking at other
looking
options.
at alternative options.
That's what we're doing.
We're not trying to take away insurance.
We are not.
We're looking at alternative options.
And you heard me, and you heard Mayor Pro Tem Boston. We're looking at other options. We would never say we're not going to offer insurance. We can't say we can't offer insurance. We have to. But we're looking at other options.
Here's the issue that I have with the insurance thing. The way that it's being approached to counter the efforts that y'all are making to look for our opportunities to, to try to change some things for the betterment of the city, for the survivability of the city. I think that it was on the other side, it was approached from a very emotionally charged standpoint. And when you run off emotions, you have the tendency to make mistakes.
Right.
Yes.
You have the tendency to not be data driven. And when you're not data driven, you have the tendency to make statements and promises that you can't uphold.
Right.
Now, one of the greatest things that I can offer an employee right now, if we were to hire full time at our fire department, is that we pay 100% insurance. That is a card that I have in my pocket. It's not my big joker, because my big joker is my department.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to work for me because you
I like that.
Right.
I like that.
That's my big joker. My deuce of diamonds, my deuce of,
Yeah.
We talking spades.
Right.
That's right. Cut that.
It's 100% insurance because we know that we're in the middle of a pay scale study. I'm hoping that when the pay scale study presents the data, if it says that we should increase our hourly rates or whatever the case is, I hope we adopt those hourly rates. But you're always chasing the finish line when it comes to that stuff, because if you do it this year, you can do that study again next year. They're going to tell you need to add more money because things are just getting more expensive as we go. So one of our greatest bargaining tools for recruitment is 100% insurance. That's why we've been able to recruit the amount of talent that we have in Walthamville comparative to what some of our hourly rates are. Now, we know that there's changes coming, right? For the pay of our employees. We know that those changes are coming. But generationally, people care about what they bring home every 2 weeks.
Right.
And when we talk about bring home, you have to consider the cost for insurance, because I can make $15 an hour doing this job, but if I bring home 75-80% of my check, you know, that's a big difference versus if I make $25-30 an hour, but I'm only bringing home 45-50% of my check, and I'm not, you know, getting into the weeds of how much child support you got or how much, you know,
Right.
whatever your bring home is. People care about the bring home. It's just like before I worked at Hinesville, I sold cars at Liberty Chrysler. And the new school buyer, they don't care about interest rate. They don't care about loan term. They don't care about finance. How much do I have to pay a month?
Right.
It doesn't matter that I financed it out for 236 months. They don't care. They don't care that it's a 10-year finance term. They don't care that it's 29.99%.
Right. They think about
and here's
interest.
the thing: Georgia has predatory interest rate laws. They don't care about that. No, they don't care about that.
They come right there.
How much do I have to pay a month?
Buy here, pay here.
Yeah, that's what they care about. How much do I have to pay a month? And for that employee, and we go back to the hyper portability of the employees, they want to know what I'm going to bring home every 2 weeks or twice a month, whatever the pay schedule is. And that is why they job hop.
Right.
Because if the department across the street pays $1 more an hour, they're going to take their 401k to that $1 more an hour department, and they're going to go work for them.
Yep.
And when the department on the other side of the streets does a pay scale study and they increase their pay rates, they're going to go. They're going to go. Because we like to believe that a lot of our employees want to be in leadership roles. They want to promote up. They want to, well, if you keep leaving, you'll never be a chief.
Exactly.
Well, I want to be a chief. You know what I mean? So all I want to do is feed my family.
Yeah.
Right.
And all I want to do is put 30s on my truck, you know what I'm saying, and buy my guns and do whatever my interests are. So they don't care about that stuff. So the insurance thing, I feel like it's an exceptional tool that Walthamville has for recruiting, because insurance is ungodly expensive.
Yes.
And the fact that the city pays 100%, we are light years ahead of our peers when it comes to benefit. The benefits that we provide. There's not a department head. We've got some department heads in the chat. There's not a department head in that chat that would say, hey, if I could convince my municipality or my county to pay 100% of my insurance, I wouldn't do it.
Right.
They would all pursue that.
I would say this. Just hearing what you're saying now, see, this is a different perspective. This is what you see because you're at the fire department, you know what it is. But see, just even saying that, you know, it allows everybody else to see it from a different way. You know what I'm saying? As far as the recruitment and everything, because I would have never thought, oh, dang, yeah, insurance. I'd be like, man, insurance, you know, you got to do insurance. But then you look at it, you say, we got people that's going to go jeopardize their lives, fight fires, put on this hot ass suit, and then be away from their family, you know, and just like in the military, right now we give them percentages off around here. Matter of fact, they don't even pay any property taxes. You know, and I think that's what encourages people to stay in Liberty County a lot of times. We don't lose a lot of the veterans because they're like, wait a minute, I ain't got to pay no property tax.
But that's federal, though.
Yeah.
That's a federal law that if you're 100%, you don't pay property tax.
That's state.
State. I'm sorry. I stand corrected.
Yeah.
But
Georgia's trying to be the new Arizona when it comes to
but I believe that's only for your primary home.
Right.
Yeah,
Like if you have investment properties,
you paying
taxes on that.
Oh,
yeah.
But you know, that's not everybody didn't have 1 or 2 homes. The majority of folks, you know, we'll say about 80, 83, 84% of people, they have 1 home. And then when you're a veteran, you know what I'm saying? Boom. That's just one of our selling points. I never looked at it from the angle that you just said right now. As you know, you're a recruiting tactic. And it concerns me that people, as far as the pension and the 401k, right? I can understand how that pension would be more beneficial to the county retaining folks.
100%.
And I think another bonus would be is to figure out how to turn that pension for somebody into a certain amount. You know, that's what the pensions do anyway, but giving them even more, you know, diversity and being able to move better with the pension than the 401k, that would help you retain some folks. But the biggest thing is people got to learn exactly what a pension can do. You know what I'm saying? They have to understand the difference between the 401k and the pension, and that comes with education.
The other thing about that is with this new generation of worker, they're already planning to work their entire life. That's another thing that we're not factoring in. Mm-hmm. They're not planning for retirement.
For the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are already accepting the fact that they will probably work till they die.
Yep.
So when we start trying to sell pension, and here's the thing, we're not trying to trap anybody by saying, oh, well, we're going to go from 401ks to we're going to do away with PTO, and we're going to go to we're going to go to bona fide leave pools.
I would trap them.
Right.
Where you going?
But,
nah.
And here's the thing.
40,000.
We go to and this is why I don't go to chief conferences, and I hope there's no fire chiefs in the chat. This is why I don't go to chief conferences. Recruitment is such a low-hanging fruit in public safety. It's a hot button topic where everybody's got this major plan of how they're going to recruit. We don't have a recruitment issue. We have a retention issue.
Retention, yeah.
And the reason why we have a retention issue is because we're mistreating employees, we're not taking care of them, we're promising things at the hiring table that we don't deliver once we get them on our workforce, and then we've created these hyper-portable employees where the moment, the generation of worker that we're hiring right now, the moment you stop speaking their language, they're gone. And this is why I say we don't have a recruitment issue. There has not been a job announcement that has been posted by any agency that I know of where they didn't get applicants.
Right.
You're getting applicants. You don't have a recruitment issue. You have a retention issue, because if I sit here and say, well, it costs us $40,000 to put a firefighter on a fire, or $40,000 to put a fireman on a fire truck, I have a responsibility to the taxpayers to do everything that I can to retain that employee after the investment that we made in them. Because I can go recruit 10 people and spend $40,000 a piece, keep them for 2 years, but if I don't take care of that employee, then I'm constantly spending that $40,000 over and over and over again. Right. And then when I start mistreating them, I don't take care of them, I don't provide them opportunities for advancement, we cut their insurance, they're going to go, right? And so we have a responsibility to retain the people that we go out and spend this money recruiting. Recruiting is such I go to these classes in the conference and I just listen to people talk about recruitment. Well, you got a recruitment problem. No, you have a retention problem. And I can see why you have a retention problem, because you're so out of touch with what's going on at your department. You don't understand what the problem set is. And if you don't understand what the problem set is, how can I hold you accountable for finding solutions?
Chief Michael look like he ready to he bout it 10 toes down.
I don't go to chief conferences because they run me out of them. They're like, get them out.
You're not alone with that. Whenever you come in with something different, or you're standing on 10 behind something that people don't understand, that's how it goes.
Because the fact of the matter in public safety is it's so easy just to maintain the status quo.
Yes.
It's so easy just to maintain the status quo, because statistically, most people will go their whole life and never call 911.
Right.
Yeah,
And so it's easy to just come in and just maintain the system that's already in place. And we have a no news is good news mentality.
Yes.
But no, good news is good news.
Right.
I want to be out. I want to shake hands. I want to get to know, and I want them to see what we're doing to increase the service level at the least amount of money possible.
Facts. And Chief, I want to ask you this, because I've thoroughly enjoyed this. You're very informative. You know exactly how to explain it, right? And I want to know if you would come on more episodes if you were offered the opportunity. And I really want to do an episode honoring all of our public service. Possibly, if you're still there, Sheriff you, Chief Maxwell, some other the fire department or any other departments. I want to have a nice show where we can honor you guys, because I appreciate all of your hard work. It's not easy. It's not easy going to fight a fire and then having to explain your viewpoint. You know what I mean? And then having to fight for your people, and then you got to stand on business behind that. You really do. And sir, from everything that I know now, I see you're standing on 10 behind it. And it's not that you're just saying things, no, you mean it. You're passionate behind it. And believe me, we see that. So Kings and Queens, I want you to understand, once again, you have somebody that is on your team. They're riding for you, Walthamville. They're riding for you. King Boston didn't even want to be in politics when 3 4 years ago, you couldn't have paid him.
I'm not a politician.
He's not. But you know what? That's what I like about him. You know what I'm saying? Even Chief Maxwell said, "Oh, now I didn't even think about being a firefighter." What happens is you get put in positions to where you need to be there.
Yeah, it's a calling.
It's a calling. That's right. And y'all know I'm a Christian, so I'm gonna say it. God puts people in position,
Worst thing you can
whether
do is
you
buck
don't
on
like
your
it or
call.
not.
Right.
Yeah, buck on it.
Can't buck on your calling.
Some of y'all right now in the position of where you at because you still bucking on the calling that you know is upon your life. And we're all guilty of that. Seriously, I'm no better. I've done it. Everybody's done it. But the thing is, when are you going to recognize it? When are you going to call yourself out? It's hard. It hurt. I'm telling you. Look, I'm a Taurus. Y'all don't understand how bullheaded I used to be. Like, for real, man. For real. And once I started having to work on me and understand, hey, man, this is a very severe disadvantage you have that you're giving yourself. So, yeah, I understand that you got to hear everybody's perspective. You can still have your own, but listen. And then when you hear something that makes sense, add it to your repertoire. Don't sit there and buck it just because you didn't like it. And you go, I didn't think of it. I didn't think of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So we're going to end it like this, Chief Maxwell. Look, we always give the kings and queens something to go off of for the weekend and into the next week, right? And we're going to start off with Councilwoman Kelly today. Councilwoman Kelly, would you give the kings and queens something to keep them going throughout their weekend?
Throughout their weekend, in the words of Smokey the Bear, only you can prevent forest fires. No,
That's fact. I know y'all been seeing what's been going. That's fact.
no, but we had a conversation before this conversation, and I'm just gonna say, stay prayed up, and repent. At the end of the day,
Amen.
Repent, stay prayed up.
That's it.
That's it.
Hey, and look, she been talking about repenting all day.
That's right. Lord, forgive me for all my sins.
Look, Bridget done hit somebody over the head or something. So I'm gonna repent.
Somebody kid called the business today.
Yeah, right. One of them kids done cussed her out. Oh, Jesus, Lord, I'm sorry.
Forgive me. No,
and speaking of kids, Miss Edna, what's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on? Brian Johnson, Alfonso Hagan, Patrick Underwood.
Shout out Chief Hagan.
Chief Hagan, what's up? What up?
I gotta call you, Chief. I gotta call you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. We want to give shouts out to all the kings and queens. Sheriff Bowman, thank you. We appreciate all of the love, guys. Don't forget to go to YouTube and subscribe. I need more subscribers on there. Don't forget that if you got those pests running around because it's getting warm, call 1-844-MAGNUM-1.
We on it.
That's 1-844-MAGNUM-1. And Steezo Collection, the Christian brand. SteezoCollection.com is where you can find all your Christian apparel. And when you're ready to buy that house, go to yourhomechamp.com. That's yourhomechamp.com, and that's yours truly. Now, before we leave it out, we got to go right here to King Boston to give out his words of wisdoms to get you guys through it.
Okay. When it comes to public safety, we can't get caught up in personalities and politics and emotions, because you really have people's lives on the line. Mm-hmm. We have our employees' lives on the line and the citizens. And, as a leader, we might not always agree about the path to get there, but we have to agree on the mission. And I believe that as long as we stay locked in on the mission, we'll be good. Because guess what? Whether you're a firefighter, a police officer, or an elected official, our job is to protect the public. And I think that if we can always keep that in mind, everything else is manageable. That's my free game.
Ooh. Excuse me. Yes. Before we go to you, Chief Maxwell, you do have a message from Byron Johnson. Byron Johnson says, Chief Maxwell, stand-up guy for sure. Fist 100.
Hey, shout out to Byron. That's family right there.
Yes.
Family.
Patrick Underwood says, town hall meeting Saturday.
46.
4 to 6.
4 to 6.
The
Town
Liberty
hall
County
meeting
Career Academy.
at the
We'll be
Career
there.
Academy. Miss Edna Walthall says, hello, everyone. So, Chief Maxwell, what are some words you would like to give all the kings and queens out there?
Some words, I would just say, do your best to starve your doubts, feed your faith, keep God first, acknowledge Him in all your ways, and let Him guide your path.
I love it.
Oh, wow. That was clean.
Now it's your go.
Yo, it's all good because all you guys brought it home for me anyway.
Right.
So everything we do, we need to put all the efforts that we can into it. You never know what your calling is. Well, you know what? I take that back. You do know what your calling is, but you always try to fight it. Stop fighting your calling and repent for everything that you know that you've done wrong.
And give thanks.
And give thanks.
Thanks. Definite.
And just like Chief said, you got to watch how you go. You got to guide. And when you guide, you're being guided by God. So understand the way that you move, other people are watching. Because I'm not going to lie, we're talking about all this retention. I want to retain people in a positive path. Mm-hmm. I'm tired of seeing people that we lose just to negativity, man. Mm-hmm. If we can hold that line and retain each other, man, that's what we're here for. We can retain each other. Shouts out to King Azario for working the ones and twos. That man hasn't slept in over 42 hours now. 42 hours he's been up straight working hard, and that's to be on the show. He didn't want to miss this opportunity to help us out of the show. 42 hours. 42 hours straight at working.
Appreciate you.
Go to sleep, man.
Yeah, right. Before we go out, Sheriff Bowman says elections are coming. Vote your values, not your friends or family. Vote your values.
I like it, Sheriff.
Wow,
I like that.
I love that. Vote
And
your values.
The Boys and Girls Club has a golf tournament March 7th. If you want to put your team together, come out.
Okay. Sheriff,
March
you hear that?
7th.
Sheriff, we need you on our team. It'll be you, myself, and Mitchell, and somebody else that is an ace. So we can just,
Get that team together.
Yeah, because Sheriff is like a beast on there, man.
March 7th. We talked about it before the show. I was like, March 7th sound real familiar.
Yeah.
11 Black Men is having a banquet.
Oh, yeah.
March
Our banquet
7th.
is March 7th.
Now, what time is it? 6?
It's wasn't it? Yeah, 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock on the dot. Yep.
Be there.
Be there. And
you
get
got
your
to-
tickets from me. You can get your banquet tickets right here. Just contact me and we'll get it going.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Don't worry about the price. Just pay it.
And if you don't answer the phone, just call me. I'll answer.
Yeah, right.
So you got your Saturday. You got your golf tournament that morning.
In the morning.
Your banquet that
Banquet that
evening.
night.
That part.
Kings and Queens, much love. It's your boy, the People's Champ, King Conda, and we're right.